you are aware of the main reason why this joy is everywhere. Yes, Nigeria. Yes, we've not. This wasn't the result. This result was something we would have gotten earlier before now. But like they say, it's better late than never for the Super Eagles of Nigeria to, be very, very close into advancing into the 2026 World Cup that we played in the USA, Canada, and Mexico come 2026. That's very, very interesting. So, on this note, that's why I make you welcome to today's edition of TalkSport, as we'll be having conversations. Most of the conversation we'll be having today would be around Nigerians' qualification to the World Cup, which is just so much to talk about. And I'll not be doing the talking alone. I have in the studio with me Romeo and Mafidon, who would help us, do most of the analysis of the conversation. Romeo, good morning, and thank you for joining on TalkSport.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yes. So now let's start from the home front, as President Bola Tinubu hails Eagles as Osimhen fires Nigeria to World Cup playoffs. So President Bola Tinubu has charged the Super Eagles to secure qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup through the playoffs following their emphatic 4-0 victory over Benin Republic last night. The president congratulated the team for keeping the nation's hope alive with their domestic dominant performance at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo, which secured their place in the Africans playoffs. Tinubu praised the Super Eagles for the hunger, the passion, and determination displayed on the field, noting that the superlative performance has reignited Nigerians' football pride. While the job is not yet complete, I join millions, in his words, millions of Nigerian football fans in wishing our team every success in the playoffs, the president said in a statement. So the president is happy, and some persons have argued that Nigeria hasn't been this happy in the past 2 years. But I'm very, very excited that the president is dropping a comment in line with the excellent performance that we saw yesterday by the Super Eagles. Though, moving on, there are still some concerns still though, but we should just enjoy the rift of this win that we are witnessing. World Cup qualifiers, National Sports Commission leaderships applaud Super Eagles, stars Shehu Diko, in impressive win to keep Nigerians' hope alive. Qualifiers as they qualify for playoffs. The leadership of the National Sports Commission has commended the Super Eagles for the emphatic 4-0 victory over Benin Republic at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium, describing it as a morale boosting performance that has kept Nigerians' qualification hope for the 2026 FIFA World Cup alive. The crucial win ensured the Super Eagles progressed to the playoffs and lifted Nigeria to a second place in Group C with 17 points, moving them above Benin Republic on the log. Benefiting from home advantage, the Super Eagles mounted early pressure that the visitors could not withstand. Victor Osimhen, supported by Samuel Chukwueze, opened the scoring in the 3rd minute, setting the tone for the dominant display. Osimhen added the second goal before the halftime and later completed a hat-trick to seal his hero statue of the day. Frank Onyeka wrapped up the rout with a 4th goal in the closing minutes of the match. The National Sports Commission described the victory as a testament to the progressive drive and clear intent of the leadership, in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration vision for fully developed Nigerian sports, and more particularly in the grassroots. And then the sports Chairman, National Sports Commission, Malam Shehu Diko, expressed delight over the result, saying the Super Eagles victory rekindled hope and pride as people and the nation. For the people as well as for the nation. We prepared adequately for the onset, and we're confident Nigeria could make us proud after the match. So looking at it now, this reaction is just so valid, based on the fact that we saw that yesterday was very, very different. The intensity, the morale, the mindset that these players used to go into the game yesterday was totally different from what we saw, when they played Zimbabwe, South Africa, Lesotho, Even all of the early matches that they played, the momentum was different. We saw a different hunger. I think personally that the players, spoke to themselves and like, wait, we really need to win this. We really need to be in the World Cup. This went beyond the coaches' tactics, the coaches' formation and all. These guys came out yesterday to play, and we saw them, playing very well. So basically, from what we're seeing now, the president has commended them. The chairman of the National Sports Commission has also commended them in the note that they have rekindled the hope and the firepower of Nigeria, and the president is looking further to investing more in sports development and creating avenues for the future of the player. So before we get into the conversation, let me bring you up to speed with this last story, where Victor Osimhen's hat-trick fires Eagles into World Cup playoffs. The Super Eagles of Nigeria booked their place in the African playoffs for 2026 World Cup after a commanding 4-0 victory over Benin Republic at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium. Victor Osimhen was the star of the night, netting a superb hat-trick, while substitute Frank Onyeka added the final goal to seal the result that confirmed Nigeria's passage into the next phase of the qualifiers. It was the kind of dominant performance that had long been demanded from the Super Eagles, and it came when it mattered the most. From the opening whistle, Nigeria played with intensity, purpose and aggression, leaving the visitors chasing shadows so much of the contest. And then this trajectory continued like this until the first error happened in the midfield. Samuel Chukwueze finding Victor Osimhen, and then the rest was history. First goal in the first 3 minutes. Romeo, you watched the game yesterday. Looking at the Super Eagles team, before the game, what was your mindset? Do you think that the Super Eagles were going to win?
Before the game, I was happy because there was like a change of players into the squad, removing that godforsaken captain, mistake master, and stepping in Premier League players that actually have experience and have played professional football a lot. So I was quite excited to see that Ajayi started the game alongside even Bassi not playing his position, but I know he's a very confident centre back and he could have it. Of course, we deserve that win, but I didn't expect Osimhen giving us a hat-trick. I expected a 1-0 probably from a set piece during the ending, or a 1-1 draw. That's how Nigerian have been playing their football. But I was so proud to see that my country and my team made me proud yesterday. Very happy to see that. Yes,
you need to actually, I would say, I wasn't so sure. I was sure that Nigeria was going to win, but I wasn't certain that they were going to win in this dramatic fashion. Yes, I was expecting to see like a 2-1 at most.
Exactly.
A 2-1 at most, because looking at the trajectory, they haven't scored more than 3 goals since this World Cup qualifiers began. So looking at the outcome now and how this whole thing panned out, it was just interesting to see how they were all out and they were playing. Now, you talked about substitute and all. Well, I wasn't even expecting, Williams to start the game because we needed somebody with ginger. I feel Williams is a gentleman, and we did not need a gentleman for that yesterday's match. So Samuel Ajayi and Kelvin Bassey in that back line, I saw Kelvin Bassey bodying everybody. Like just like the song Odumodu sang, he said, if you like gym. So like, I think the Benin Republic guys, they went to the gym, and at the end of the day, Bassey was like, I also went to the gym, so who is more stronger? He was just busy bothering everybody. But looking at it now, looking at going further, Nigeria has qualified for battle it out now in the playoffs. But before now, if Nigeria had played like this, what we saw yesterday, do you think that Nigeria would be in the playoffs? If they had played the way they played yesterday, in their previous matches and the other qualifying matches with Zimbabwe, Rwanda, Lesotho, do you think that they would have won more and qualified without going to the playoffs?
Yesterday, I felt like they played the football like they had no choice. They had to give it their all because it's either that or they are going home. Playing like that for every match is like a big confidential thing. So you need to have that kind of role, that kind of impact to be playing like that for every match. Every match has its own purpose. They felt like, okay, that was the last chance for them to hit the qualifiers. You know, without winning that, we would have been home, sent home, crying, and we are used to that because we didn't qualify the last time.
Yeah.
So seeing that they don't want to see that the last time, like how it happened. You know, the last time we lost the match, it was in the Abuja Stadium.
Yes, here in Abuja.
It was rowdy and fans were all wild, and we almost got suspended.
Yes.
So seeing that, I think Nigeria does not want to face that again. And yes, if we had played like this, like giving it our all, just like how we did yesterday on that pitch, thank you very much, Osimhen. Just like how we did on that pitch, I feel that we shouldn't have been battling for playoffs.
Okay, now the players have been set basically, and you know, Eric has tagged Victor Osimhen as the best striker in the world, which is arguably, we've seen a lot of persons also coming out to say he's now better than Isak. He should be putting Osimhen and Haaland on the same page, basically, because all of those goals that Victor Osimhen scored, it only takes a world-class striker to be able, you know, to be able to score all of those goals. But now let's look at the coach. And we saw how the players played yesterday. Before yesterday and last week, I made a comment around the fact that I said, when you play Victor Osimhen, send him the ball in the 18-yard box and then leave the rest for him. We saw that happening yesterday. Do you think this is going to pan out and help out with the fact that Nigeria will be playing Gabon in the playoffs starting from the 13th of November to the 16th? So this would be the final decider for these individuals if Nigeria will be making it to the World Cup.
You know, the play is a style play, like you said earlier last week, giving the ball to him. You know, just give him the ball. He's a quality player. He knows what to do when he's in the box. He's a fox in the box. You know, all those type of clutch players, they are analyzed differently. You get, because this type of gameplay that Nigerian played yesterday, I haven't seen that in a while. I don't know if it was the coach decision or the assistant coach or the technical aspect, but what I watched yesterday, if we should use that type of tactics for all our games, of course we'll triumph well.
All right, let's definitely bring you highlights of the game that was played yesterday, but just in case you missed it, but even though you did not miss it, you can't get enough of an amazing performance that we saw yesterday from the Super Eagles. So let me bring you up to speed with the comments that was made by Nigerian's head coach Eric Chio as he was full of administration for his players following their 4-0 emphatic win over Benin Republic in Uyo on Tuesday, describing Victor Osimhen as the best striker in the world. After the forward's hat-trick sealed the Super Eagles' place in the CAF playoff tournament for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Victor Osimhen's hat-trick and a thunderous strike from substitute Frank Onyeka ensured a resounding win for the three-time African champions at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium. The result means Nigeria will now compete in 4-nation playoffs in Morocco next month for a chance to reach the intercontinental stage of qualifications. Speaking after the match, Chile said he was full of administration for the commitment and resilience his players showed under pressure of a must-win encounter. The coach was also full of praise for Victor Osimhen, who scored 3 times to extend his international tally to 29 goals in 44 appearances, putting him on course to take over Nigeria's all-time top scorer, the late Rashidi Yekini. Chile described the ex-Napoleon striker as the best striker in the world, a statement that drew applause from post-match media room. Arguably, Victor is actually, he proved a point yesterday that yes, put me in the game, coach, and I would always find you. Let's talk about Samuel Chukwueze. Samuel Chukwueze played number 8 position yesterday, and then there was a very good connection and chemistry that we saw. When they were on the under 17 and under 20 group stages, Victor Osimhen and Samuel Chukwueze were teammates, and there was a lot of chemistry. We saw that happening yesterday. This current formation now, having Samuel play in the number 8 position and supply Victor Osimhen the ball and understanding where Victor wants the ball. Do you think this is the best way to go for the rest of the game? Or the games that will be played?
Like I said, the tactics that the coach used this game was a very different ball game entirely. Seeing Chukwueze playing that number 8 position was a very, very new thing to me because I don't think I have watched a match him playing number 8. Even if during the squad lineup is always fixed for that number 8. He doesn't play deep in the
Deep,
number 8. He
yeah.
goes to the flanks.
Yeah.
So seeing the connection of him and the best striker in the world playing like that, I think that's what we need. Those kind of positive vibes are what we need to step forward. And Chukwueze is a promising player, although he's not giving many chances in the Nigerian team. I think the few chances you get, I think you prove yourself well to earn a starting lineup in the team. So that's what he did yesterday.
Yeah, looking at that, Ademola Lookman was not around based on the fact that he had some injury concern. He was just watching from the stands. Do you think if he was on the pitch and he was playing, do you think Nigeria would have scored more goals?
You know, there are some games that Lookman does not have to be there to be done. It used to be done. That type of game, I don't see Lookman type of football fitting in there because it was not just a flank game. It was also a central ball from the midfield. Although Lookman is a quality player, don't get me wrong, but him being in that game can also cause damages. But different role changes. Lookman is a talented player. He goes from the wing while breaking in and delivering crosses. Yesterday's game was not just like that.
Yeah. So, yesterday's game was really not just like that. We saw the ball. The ball didn't spend so much time in the midfield, basically, actually, because we saw from the midfield, the ball just gets lobbed into the 18-yard box. So as Victor Osimhen would, obviously he's a threat, and then he's going to battle it off, and then he's got strength, he's got pace, and he's got the clinical touches to be able to find the back of the net, scoring 3 times yesterday in a most decisive win when the back of the entire Super Eagles were against the world. Shortly, I'll bring you the highlights, but before I get you the highlights, Super Eagles are set to face Gabon in the World Cup playoffs. Nigeria will take on Gabon in semi-finals of the African section of the 2026 FIFA Club World Cup playoffs following the conclusion of the qualifying group matches yesterday. The Super Eagles booked their place after a 4-0 victory over Benin earlier in the day, while Gabon confirmed second place in their Group F with a 2-0 win against Burundi and Ivory Coast, stomping off Kenya to win the group. The Republic of Congo also sealed their qualification spot with a narrow 1-0 win over Sudan to finish runners-up in the Group B, with Senegal and Cameroon joining them after placing second in Group D behind Cape Verde. The playoffs, which will further feature 4 best runners-up from the 9 African qualifying groups, are scheduled to take place in Morocco from November 13th to the 16th. So I'll also bring you the top list of all of these games. Teams actually that have qualified flawlessly that wouldn't be participating in the playoffs. So I'll bring you those lists of those games after this highlight. So here's a highlight between